Welcome back, everybody. It's another episode of Connect, Share, Prosper. I'm your co-host, Chris Angel, here with Chaz, your host, Chaz Wilson. Hello, sir.
Hello. I'm so excited today about this message. We're going to have some tough talk on this message, but if you're in a networking group like Master Networks, I think you need to hear this.
Okay. And now that I'm so curious about what it is, like what is it?
So we're going to talk about the messages that undermine your mission.
Okay. What do you mean?
Yeah. So often these topics come up from things I observe.
Yeah.
And I get the opportunity to visit a lot of chapters, a lot of networking groups around the country. I'm headed out to another state here, and I get to visit these chapters, and I stand up and I see people stand up and share their soundbite or their introduction, or I talk to them at their meetings, and I see things happen that I don't know that people are aware of. And so I think self-awareness is a big thing, and the messages you're sharing to your chapter that directly impact your ability to generate revenue. That's what I want to talk about.
Wow. So give me an example. Somebody stands up and says what that would undermine the mission of.
Well, so there are the things that they can say in the meeting that can undermine. So for example, I saw one that was like, listen, guys, thanks for all your support. I've been taking care of my mother. She's been ill. And it's taking a lot of time, et cetera, et cetera. Well, after the meeting, I visited with this gentleman and I said, how's Master Networks going? Oh, they've been super great to support me. I said, so what kind of business are you doing? He was a real estate agent. And he said, the reality is the last 4 months, I really haven't had any referrals. And I was getting a ton from this group before. And I said, well, how much time do you have to work on your business? I mean, the way it sounded to me today as a visitor was,
right,
you're busy with taking care of your mom. He's like, well, I have a caretaker that helps. I was like, that's an interesting thing. So on one hand, I think what the chapter's hearing is, listen, man, we care about you. We don't want to burden you with anything else. It sounds like you got your hands full.
Yeah.
I don't think he realized that was the message he was telling the chapter. Right? So that's one. The second thing is somebody who stands up on the flip side and says, I'm so busy, man. I could hardly make it to this meeting. I'm so busy. What you're telling people is you got no capacity for more business.
Yeah.
Right? Those are just two quick examples.
Wow. Hey, that's interesting because I can think of, right now it's summer in Spokane for some reasons, like people go to the lake in Spokane in the summer, or kids are out. And then that's everywhere, but kids are out of school in summer. And so they're busy with family stuff. And so they'll actually post in the group, in our Facebook group, hey, I can't make it. Hey, I can't make it. Hey, I can't make it. And so like enough times they can't make it. And pretty soon, we start thinking you're too busy.
Right. You got to value the relationships and you got to show up. I mean, again, I'm always careful to share these things because sometimes they sound as self-promoting and I'm not, you and I've talked about this, it becomes my challenge. I am by nature humble and I don't like to be the center of attention, but I'm going to share an example. As I went to a chapter meeting, I'm in a chapter. I think that surprises people that I'm in a chapter as the founder and CEO of the company, is that I'm in a chapter, and I am. And I go every week, and when I'm not, I do my best to get a sub there. That's the important thing. I get a sub. And I had a guy stand up at a meeting, one of our meetings, and he said, listen, guys, do you realize like Chaz as the founder could be doing a million other things and helping other chapters, but he's invested in our chapter. And I think, guys, I was part of another networking group that I never met the founder. He never came to anything, like, et cetera, et cetera. And just the point is, like, it sends a message to people. Yeah. Do you care about this group? Are you showing up? If you're not showing up, you're not getting business. I promise you.
Yeah. And by the way, I think that means literally showing up. And I think it also means figuratively, like, are you showing up and being present? Are you participating? Are you engaging? Are you whatever? Yeah. I think that matters
so much. So the other side of it too is, what's the message you're sharing when you're constantly late? Like we have some who are habitually late every meeting. Now, I also understand that there's life things. Like I know for sure one of them has a challenge in the morning getting kids to a certain location, et cetera. Yeah. And has expressed that look, I'm going to be 10 minutes late, but I love this group. I want to be part of it. And I think everyone knows because there's been permission asked, if you will.
Sure.
But when there's the people that that kind of just stroll in halfway through the meeting on a regular basis, like, do people not understand the message you share? Like, if you don't care enough, it's not important. Why would I send you business? Are you going to treat my referral that way?
Yeah. So good.
So
Messages can be verbal, but I think they can be nonverbal as well. And so sometimes, I think your point of messages that undermine your mission can be, any of, a lot of these ways can be messages.
yes.
So,
Let me share two other quick ones, and they actually happened in the same experience. One is, and my mentor has taught me this, and it's speaking 101. You never get up and apologize for your message. You never get up and apologize for not preparing. Even if you haven't, you just don't do that. Because
yeah.
if I stand up and say, hey guys, thanks for letting me have 10 minutes of your time. I'm sorry I didn't prepare for this. I'm sorry you have to listen to me. Like
Right.
we all sit there and go, why are we listening to you?
Right.
So number one, guys, don't stand up and apologize. If it's your time to give a 10-minute presentation in the meeting, don't go, I'm sorry, I'm not a very good speaker. Well, then sit down. Like,
Right. Yeah.
So that's the second. The second thing is, I was in a meeting one time, this is a couple years ago, and a person stood up and said, I have the sound. They said, you have the sound bite. Chris, you have the sound bite. He stands up and says, oh man, I totally forgot, but I'm not prepared. I can wing it. I got this. But says that out loud. And then it was a rough presentation. And then we had given opportunity for feedback.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of gave some feedback. It was kind of the politically correct, hey, nice job, good story, and all that stuff. And the guest raises her hand. And I'm like, oh boy, what's she going to say? And she says, listen, I know I don't know you guys and on all that, but I just got to be honest. As I'm evaluating this group, and here's somebody that you got an opportunity to tell us about what you do, and you said you're not prepared. How are you not prepared to tell us what you do and how we could send you business and how you add value? Like, if I'm going to give you a referral, are you going to be prepared when you show up for that meeting?
Yeah.
And you could cut the tension. It was so tense. To the guy's credit, he was like, you're right. You're 100% right. Thank you.
Yeah.
I promise you, if you come back, you join us, you come back for my next, I will be prepared. And I will treat your referrals the right way. Thank you for the lesson today. I mean, he did a pro job at it. But what a reminder. We realize the message we share when we stand up and say, hey, I'm not prepared to talk to you guys today. Well, then sit down.
He could, if you had rewound that and he had just stood up and with as much confidence as possible had a conversation for the 8 minutes about whatever he was doing or wanted to say, it just would have come off as a normal conversation to the group or the room rather than leading or framing that whole conversation with apologetics, I'm sorry, hey, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so I would just, here's how I kind of want to wrap this point, is that if you're in a Master Networks chapter and you got good numbers, first of all, if you don't have good numbers, you need to grow it because that's more opportunities, right?
Yeah.
You have good numbers and you're doing regular face-to-face meetings. That's where the magic happens, by the way. You're doing regular face-to-face meetings. So if you have a large group, you're doing regular face-to-face meetings and you're still not getting business, then here's what I'd suggest. You're sending some messages to people you may not realize you're sending. Get business.
That's so good. Ooh.
So how do you fix that?
Yeah.
You got to go to somebody you trust in the meeting and say, listen, I'm doing the regular face-to-face meetings. I need to ask you a favor. I need you to be 100% honest with me. Please, I need this. I need you to give me feedback. I'm looking to be the best version of me every year. Like I talk about this on my next birthday, I want to be the best version of me. So I need the data. I need the feedback. How do I become better? By feedback. So I need you to tell me, Chris, what messages am I sending of why I'm not getting business from this group? Watch what happens.
Yep. That is so good.
Yep.
I love that.
That's the key.
Awesome. Messages that undermine the mission. Well, I love it. That's so good. That's a good dose of honesty and truth there. Chaz, if people want to learn more about how to join Master Networks or start their own chapter, where can they go?
Yep, go to masternetworks.com. We are here. We got a team to help you. We're going to help you either join, launch a chapter, find a chapter, whatever you need. We want you to be part of the Master Networks family, so come join us.
I love it. Great episode, Chaz. We'll catch you next time.
All right, thanks, Chris. Be well.